Welcome back. In an emphatic and unwavering stance, the Arab Republic of Egypt condemned the audacious and entirely unacceptable remarks emanating from Israel, which brazenly incite against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The call for establishing a Palestinian state on the Saudi soil is a glaring affront to Saudi sovereignty and a flagrant breach of international law and the United Nations Charter. This is the first paragraph of the statement which was released yesterday by the Egyptian Foreign Ministry after the reckless and irresponsible remarks by the Israeli authorities. And to shed more light on the issue and shed more light on the Egyptian statement, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Her Excellency Ambassador Wafaa Baseem, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much for being with us, Ambassador Baseem.
Good morning.
Before going into the details of what took place just a few hours ago regarding the Israeli authorities, how do you see even the words or the terms used in the Egyptian statement regarding the Israeli remarks?
Well, what took place is something that we have never seen in on the international scene. This kind of declarations or statements or ideas look like coming from a source that did not give 1 minute of thinking about the impact of such declarations or such ideas on not only on relations of neighborhood or on the attempts and the efforts of international community to reach first a situation of calm in the region in order to see what will be how will be taken from the calm to the negotiating table or finding a solution just and sustainable for the Palestinian case, which remains in the eyes of Egypt and of the whole Arab world, including Saudi Arabia. It remains the key answer to stability, peace in the region. Just the responsible, the high responsible, who uttered this idea out of nowhere. We don't know how. Where did he get this from? Forgot how keen they want to have good relations with Saudi Arabia. He forgot how they are doing efforts, either direct or indirect or through their friends in Washington, to reach just an understanding on a possible normalization in the future of Saudi Arabia. They forgot how Saudi Arabia has presented an initiative that is still valid few years ago, I mean in the 90s, to find a solution that was viable and possible.
And Ambassador Baseem, also, if you permit me to interrupt here, because when Netanyahu said so, and when he said these remarks, when the news agency were quoting him, they said that it seemed that Netanyahu was joking, saying so and so, as if this is a joke, and as if speaking about displacing the Palestinians and kicking them out of their lands is a joke and something which can be implemented on the ground. nevertheless, this is the sovereignty of another state. Nevertheless, this is completely a breach of international laws and the United Nations Charter, as if this is something which we can joke about or anyone can joke about. How do you see this word, joking?
There is no jokes in international relations. There is no jokes when thousands of people have been killed. There is no jokes then when thousands of people have been displaced, enforced to displace from their homes to the south of Gaza.
Yeah.
There is no joke when there was a very clear signal and living proof that these people, the Palestinian peoples, are adamant to return home, and that their home, no matter if it's even, how would you say, if it even rumbles on the ground, and if there are no water, sanitation, there are obstacles for them to go back to here to have even a piece of bread every day. There is no joke when you talk about this. There is no joke when you talk about the territorial integrity of a great state in the Arab world, that's Saudi Arabia. There is no joke when you talk about sovereignty. There is no joke when you just suggest to move them as if they are pawns on a chessboard. Let's take them from here to there without even considering what would be the impact of such a word. You don't joke. You say, I'm mistaken, or you just, I don't know. From the very beginning, these words should not have been uttered at all. And this is what raised the indignation of Egypt and all Arab countries for just listening to what the Israeli Prime Minister has said. We are not only impeding on the lives of millions of Palestinians in the occupied territory, now we are turning around to one of the biggest states in the region just to throw irresponsible ideas, I would say, and even insulting ideas.
Outrageous, reckless, you name it, madam. But let me return back to the statement which we have, by the way, the statement already on the screen. The statement, when it spoke about Saudi Arabia or Saudi Arabia's national security, the statement said that the Saudi national security is a red line. And it's fully integrated with the Egyptian national security and the Arabs' national security. To describe the national security of Saudi Arabia as part and parcel of our national security as Egypt and of the Arab nation in general. How do you see this as a very frank, clear message to the international community in general after what we described as reckless and outrageous, but in fact they are much more than that?
Let's not for this idea of having the security of any Arab nation in the region, and particularly in the Gulf states, and among them, of course, before anybody else, is Saudi Arabia, with whom we have excellent relations. This is not new that Egypt considers any attempt to infringe on the sovereignty of another country, on its wholeness, is not new. Let's not forget decades ago, almost a decade ago, when President Sisi acceded to his responsibilities as chief and as president of Egypt, he said a word that people did not understand at the time, and that remains. It is just the time of the road.
The road, مسافة السكة, as we say it in Arabic, as a very indicative, let's say, statement saying that we are here shoulder to shoulder.
Yes, I'll be there to shoulder you just in the, I would say, how? In the light of a second.
Yep, amen to that.
It's not new from Egypt.
Yeah.
So what has been portrayed or has been expressed in the third paragraph of the statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Egypt is not new, and people should not forget it. Stable and eternal, I would say, attitude of Egypt towards its fellow Arab countries, towards any injustice, any attempt to attack or just to touch upon the sovereignty and territorial integrity of any state in the region, any people in the region. And if you think that this is Saudi Arabia with whom we have excellent relations, historical relations, with whom we are working so hardly with our other partners to find the solution for the Palestinian case, a just and sustainable solution. And considering just the few statements that were issued by Saudi Arabia itself concerning the proposals that we don't understand came from where in Washington about displacing the Palestinians and putting them in other countries in the world. I mean, the Saudis themselves have had a very strong stance on this, and they voiced it very clearly a few days ago. If you think of that and then the reaction of the Israeli Prime Minister, I think we should not be surprised to say that this is a very extreme right government that lost his mind in front of all the reactions against those, I don't know how to describe even this proposal, and who cannot even measure the results and the impact of what they are seeing.
And it seems that what's going on is just putting more fuel into fire. I mean, regarding what the American administration decided regarding the UNRWA, regarding the calls of American President Donald Trump or to turn Gaza into what he called a Riviera of the Middle East, as if it's not the territories of a state or some people who are named the Palestinians and this is their own territories. Moving on to these reckless remarks by Netanyahu. Moving on to the statements which were released by Hamas leaders that with the lack of commitment by the Israeli side regarding the ceasefire may collapse because of the Israeli reckless way of dealing with the ceasefire. What's going on? Is this meaning that the current negotiations regarding the coming phase of the truce is now shaken, or unfortunately they cannot continue in a respectable manner on the ground to guarantee more stability in the region, or at least to save more bloodshed, to avoid more bloodshed?
Madam, you have mentioned so rightly a few elements that, as you said, are just throwing more fuel on fire. Are we forgetting also what is taking place now in the West Bank, which is a similar scenario of what was taking place in Gaza after, as from the 8th of October. We are seeing the same thing. That means that the issue was not Gaza, it's to eradicate the Palestinian people completely from the territory. We have seen some ideas uttered by the American president that have just taken office less than a month ago. We have heard him say, well, I'll be thinking soon about what we shall do about the West Bank. Even if it has not repeated, it has a significance. On the other hand, many analysts, and among them, I think myself, have been always raising awareness about the fragility of the ceasefire and the importance of the cooperation and collaboration of all partners, whether in Europe, the Arab world, in the international community itself, to try to protect that fragile ceasefire so it can be implemented. The fourth or fifth group of exchange of detainees against Palestinian prisoners is taking place according to the schedule. We should have started the second phase of the negotiation of the ceasefire Monday in Washington. Then they said, no, it will be the next days in the region. And the Prime Minister of Israel said that he will be dispatching a delegation
to Doha, to Qatar,
to resume. All of this is totally contradictory with what's taking place on the ground.
Amen to that. Let's cross our fingers that tomorrow is going to be a better day and we are not going to witness more bloodshed of innocent people. Let's not forget that the 15 months Israeli genocide war in Gaza killed more than 48,000 Palestinians, mostly women, children and minors, and displaced at least for once more than 2.2 Palestinians in Gaza. Well, Ambassador Wafaa Baseem, thank you very much for your input, madam. Have a very good day. Right after the short break, we are going to turn back with more. Stay tuned on Nile TV International.